Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it is for you. Welcome. Me, English, Nibay, Mijaki, Quay. So, right, your friendly, freaky ass, sweetgrass water medicine woman. Also, Christiana Carr and Chris Carr, superstar. All this beautiful divine being right here. And welcome, all you beautiful divine beings. Right here, too. Glad to be here with you. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Always, you beautiful beings. No exceptions. So let's just dive right. It's just Tuesdays. Yeah, up all night. Lots of stuff going on. Got a sort going within. Lots of new stuff coming up. My littles let me know some information. So doing some deep dives into myself. So it's much needed time where I really focus on me and what I am really needing, which we all need to do. We focus on our own needs. So we're not projecting them out on everybody else, right? And especially when we're in relationships, we don't want to get caught up in our heads too much and assume this is what the other one is. No matter how much you like or how much the deep connection is, we're still individual human beings, right? Because, as human species, maybe that's it. We're creator individual. Creator divided itself, whatever that is. But that free will being. And we all, no matter what, no matter how close a relationship, we're all entitled to that private space. It's a sacred space and we all need to keep that. We don't go out and we share everything with one person. That's not fair. That's a lot to put on another being. No other human being is supposed to be the other human being's everything. It's a lot to put on somebody, and it's not this next one's job to make up for whatever was lacking over here. We don't bring baggage into relationships. We don't get ahead of ourselves in those. I learned those lessons way the hard way. Way the hard way. Till this last one really showed me, and there ain't no way I'm gonna get into that again. No way. Anything that even has a hint like it, anything that even has a little hint like it, ain't no way, because I'm not giving them benefit of the doubt anymore. And then I put my stuff aside. No, this is my time right now. My time. Mine. Thank you very much. Granny, over here. Granny cannot be controlled. Granny gonna do what she wants and who she wants whenever she wants. Well, let's see there. There's ego. There's spirit, right? Truth as protection. That's the truth. Looking at that truth. Horse, that's the power of it too. We can get caught up in our heads. And when we're getting caught up in our heads, it's not the truth. If we're thinking and it's spinning up here, we're not dropping down and really seeing it. Because maybe we are seeing things, but we don't want to see it that way. So we're blocking it out. Because maybe we're seeing things that we wanted to have to be forever or whatever, and it was just a brief time. I went through that lots, learning through my loving relationships. Everyone is meant to be. I believe every one of them was meant to be. Not all are meant to be forever. All of them are meant there to teach you something. And your relationship partners are not your therapists. We do that lots. We put that on others. It's not our partners' jobs to help us work through our childhood issues. You get a therapist for that, because our partners are also human beings that have their own childhood issues. And each individual adult is responsible for that little baby. It's not another adult outside of you anymore. Do not give that job to anybody else. Like I've always said, I break my own heart, and I did, because of my expectations, because I ran off in my head about how I wanted it to be, and then it wasn't matching up on the outside. So I had just ignored the things that didn't match and focused on, well, see, it is what I thought in my head, because look, there, I just got that sign. We can cling to any little thing, chew every little thing to bits, and then we end up self-sabotaging ourselves. Because we didn't give that time. We didn't allow a breath. We went suffocating it out. And then we call in our fears. So, seeking and finding, right? If we're looking, if we wait for those waves, it's going to, this is too good to be true, too good to be true. I'm just waiting for that other shoe to drop. So anything that comes, it's not matching up. Now I'm upset. But we need to look at, what are we upset about? Our expectations. Things aren't lining up to our expectations. I don't know. So much out there. so much out there. Oh, okay, let's call in. 505. All of our energies from the east, the path of illumination and clarity, place of fire, place of man. Calling back all of our energies from the south, the childhood, the waters, the emotions. Oh, place of innocence, poke myself in the eye. And calling back all of our energies from the west, the earth, the physical, the place of woman. And calling back all of our energies from the north, the wisdom years, the air, the mental. All right, wisdom years, I already said that. Walk in the earth, walk a red road. We go from childhood, right? We're releasing, like giving away, like there's that energy going, all that. And then we need to release things from our childhoods as we're moving up into that wisdom years. We need to release that this baby didn't get those needs. And then the adult, that's the adult. You, the adult with this baby in there, you're responsible. No other adult. No, 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 no. We connect and we support each other. But, you know, it is one adult's responsibility for that baby. Sure, we can have help, but it's nobody else's responsibility. So if this baby gets hurt while you're an adult, you're the adult responsible for it. Even I continued that abuse. I don't give that credit to the ex. I did that to myself. That was a big joke. I'm a self-abusive wife. I'm not going to give that credit to any of them. I'm the one that almost sunk myself. They were telling a story, but I take responsibility for that. There is no blaming anybody else. My responsibility. I'm very strong on that. I always have been. And that's the wisdom of the years. It's the internal timing. We listening to that, to ours, right? But in relationships, right? It's not just about that internal timing because it's not just about you. So we don't just focus on our emotions and what we want and then get angry because that other person isn't on the same page because we get tangled up in our own minds. But the wisdom, and sometimes we can see why things didn't happen until the time that they did. Sometimes we don't get up there, right? We don't see it till we get up there, right? Rhythm, that internal timing, marching to the beat of your own drum, connecting to your own heartbeat. People outside us stimulate feelings inside of us. It doesn't come from those people. It's already there. They are reflections. That's what it is. That's what I believe. Oh, hey, and then there's science and stuff out there that's going to prove all this stuff anyways. So we go to the beat of our own drums. We can't push anybody else, anything. We can't push the universe. We can't make a flower grow any faster than it's going to grow. We can't push those babies out before they're ready to come out. Everything. Divine laws. Universal laws. More than man laws. The more we try to control something, the more it gets out of our control. And east to west, the blue road of spirit, the self-esteem, the moose. Strong as the moose and gentle as deer. That's right, knowing who you are. That's why we attach to others because, hey, maybe we see that reflection. But if we know who we are, it's not about that outside, needing that from that outside. Moose knows who they are. They don't go looking for reassurance. Hey, if that cow's not giving me attention, I'm moving on to a Mack truck or something, whatever, you know. That's the thing, okay? When it comes to relationships, that's where those needs and stuff, it's about those wants. So then we're not going into relationships for those needs. We know what our needs are, right? But we can't force somebody to make those. We can't force somebody to accept all sides of us. We can't force somebody to be something that they're not. Especially new discovery, you can't push somebody into things. Sometimes it all just backfires. So we need to be careful of that. Be strong in ourselves and full, that we're good. Spirit is there. We're connected. We are never alone. And no matter what, we're still connected to everybody else. We cannot separate from that. It's impossible. East to west, the blue rose spirit. Same spirit. There's no separating from spirit. So we need to confront that in ourselves. Where are the parts where our self-esteem, we're looking outside. And it's nice to help to get those lifts, to get those compliments. But we need to confront, are we dependent on that outside? And it's not originating from within, so we get desperate that when that outside thing, it might leave. Or if we lose, we start thinking, what if I ever lose this? Because I'm so attached to that, I couldn't live without that. What do you set yourself up for then? We each need to confront that in ourselves. You've survived everything until now. The worst is over. I believe, for us all. Now it's time to rebuild on these new things. Yeah, all this old stuff is going to be coming up, but we need to confront that in ourselves. It's nobody else's fault, and we should not be putting that on anybody. I will should on everybody about that. It's confronting. That's what this card is all about. The warriors going out and confronting themselves, their fears inside themselves. It's not anybody else's fault those fears are there. These fears have come from this little baby. And this little baby needs to tell you. It's not outside. We don't go out looking for somebody to fix us. Oh no, relationships are not therapy centers. Get a therapist. Do not bring your childhood shit into your relationships. It is not a partner's job to deal with that. We can have understanding and support each other through that, but we don't want to make it an issue between our partners. That's not fair. It's nobody's job to make up for all the hurt that these other ones caused because you didn't turn around and look over here. Or they, whatever, right? Whatever it was. All personal. Find out how that works with you. There's something in there. So, we all get clingy. Like, I mean, look at all these love songs and all that. They all are talking about toxic, unhealthy, codependent relationships. To get into this, I can't breathe without you. You're my air. We get that all confused. What is the source of our life? Is it another human being? It's air. It's water. Earth. All that. No other human being gave us life. Aside from our parents, right? They had to do those jobs to bring us here. So our life is not dependent on another human being. It's nice to share our lives with others. But when we come, and that's toxic, unhealthy relationship. Toxic, unhealthy relationship to get so clingy to say, you are my life, I can't breathe without you, to put that kind of thing on somebody else. Somebody else, that is not fair. It's not fair. So, right? I don't know if you do that kind of thing or anybody. I've seen that a lot in my life. So much throughout my life. I've had that. Not just with boyfriends, girlfriends. All this possessiveness. It's not me. I am not the rock. I am not the source of anything. I am just being me. And if it helps, that is great. But I don't want anybody to be dependent on me. Where's that? Please don't get attached to me because I can't give you what you need. Oh, there was. I read. I think I shared that poem somewhere. Coming home. We come home to ourselves. Finding that it's not in somebody else. Our home is not in another. We're always home, right here, in our heartbeats, always. Da, 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 da. Line goes up. 1303. It said. Lucky number 13. It was. I shouted that out the other day too. Up, go, and within. Oh, yes. 13 weeks. Yep. Workshop. That would be great. Would be. But we'll see. I just saw this here. Finding that balance inside. Right? I married myself January 25th, 2017. So I've been working on that balance in myself before I go out there with somebody else. I am never, and I never have been, my whole life, looking for somebody to complete me. I've been looking for the complementing energies because I am complete and whole on my own. Every single human being. And we getting to that point of that, then we're not going to go out looking for somebody to complete us because we are whole and complete on our own. And then it doesn't become whether that person stays or not. We're going to be whole and complete. Whole and complete without another human being. And then we share another whole and complete human being with another human being because it is so not fair in relationships to start putting our shit on somebody else and say it's somebody else's responsibility now. All my illnesses, all my insecurities, it's all your responsibility. And if I get upset, it's all up to you to fix it because I went off in my own head. And we all do that. There's not one single person that's being talked to here. This is what I've seen throughout my life. I'm going to be 46 in 3 days. I have seen a lot. Jeez, I've seen a lot before I even made it to my teenage years. So, okay. I know what I want and I'm stubborn. Strong will. I'm tenacious right now. raw energy over here. Hallelujah. Love you all. Medicine, support, and allies. This is what we do as human beings, right? We're all on our own journeys here. So even in partnerships, you're in your own journeys. Let's not get, we're weaving. We're not getting enmeshed and entangled. Weaving a beautiful tapestry, but it gets enmeshed and entangled. If we're dependent on that person outside of us to build us up, we need to be whole, complete on our own. We have those allies and supports out there, but we see it all comes within. Yes, that car might need some booster cables, but we need to be able to be clear. Help this baby see clearly. Because this baby's probably got a big distortion on what love is. More set on the human love, which is conditional. Human, man love, conditional. Spirit, unconditional. Let's love our own little babies unconditionally. Otherwise, we're going to put it out on somebody else. If we're not going to love us, we're not going to let that love in. Then we're going to get angry because, hey, now you're not making me feel loved and special. But we need to do that for ourselves. It's our job to do that for that baby. We do not put that on somebody else because, hey, what if that somebody else is, that's too much of a job. I've already got way too much going on. I don't need to be dealing with drama like this. Okay? So, do not put your happiness and do not let your self-esteem and everything reside on somebody outside of you. Allies and support, we support each other to that fullest expression of us. It's not because of those other people that we have that full expression. It's already there. Other people can help us by being those reflections. That's what I thought, right? Do we spark each other? We see those sparks. Well, everything we end up seeing is a reflection. That doggy wanting that bone. I want that bone. And he's looking down. And then goes to bark. And there he goes. He gets so upset. Because he wanted that bone from that other one. He thought it was that doggy that had the better, juicier bone. So he wanted that. And then he loses his own bone. Because he doesn't realize. He's looking at his own reflection. That's why we need to get to know ourselves and all that inside so we can see when it's being reflected outside. Reflected. And so we're not projecting it onto somebody else. Okay. Right, let's reflect on that. Let's reflect before we take these actions. Always reflect before you take actions. Before we just jump and start spewing it out, we need to reflect. Take some time and sit with it. Do our own processing. It's not somebody else's stuff to process your shit. Nobody else's job to wipe your ass. This baby, okay? Your job to wipe its ass. It's nobody's job to clean up your baggage and all this shit and all that. That's that roots in giving. We can stand there. That's supportiveness. These guys don't, they can share, right? Between their roots and stuff, that nourishment. And look at how they all live together, supporting each other. There's no reason why we can't all live, support each other, and love each other. And have all these differences too. Right? Pine trees, maple trees, apple trees. There's the strawberry bushes. Symbiotic relationships. All getting along. Standing together. Not fighting. Not roots in giving. Not taking. Not taking. We taking care of our own needs. This is what I need. This is the way I express it. Right? And I'm not going to get upset that somebody else can't take care of it because it's nobody else's job to take care of this baby's needs. We get support and help to do that. But we're all on our own journeys. We're all a divine expression. Right? We're all connected no matter what. We need to go through those transformations, right? That helps. We're in these little cocoon stage. The butterfly doesn't come out. We can't help a butterfly out of there. We might feel sorry, but maybe that butterfly wants out and is screaming out, help me out of my cocoon. Help me out of my cocoon. And then they might get mad. They finally struggle, get out of their cocoon, and then they're angry because somebody didn't come help them out of their cocoon. But hey, maybe this person knew, well, if I go help them, I could kill them. Well, you will. You help a butterfly out of its thing. It needs that struggle to strengthen those wings. So, you kill it if you help it out there. We kill others. We kill their spirits. Everything. When we don't show this baby, we got you. We can do this. We're not dependent on all these. We're sharing. It's what we can offer. It's not what I can get from you. Okay, give me this, give me that. I can't live without you because you keep giving me all of this stuff. And then we become energy vampires without even knowing it. That's why it's so important, especially for giving and loving people, not to get bitter at others. What happened to us? We were abused by bitter people. Do we want to continue Everyone that got abused, right? Do you get wiser or do you get bitter and then you start passing it on too? Can't beat him, join him. Oh, that was something somebody else always said. I'm like, no frigging way. I am going to stay nice. I'm staying in my nice lane. Thank you very much. But I ain't taking no shit either. So I'm being kind to me for this baby. Standing up. That's my self-esteem. I'm coming into it full. Coming my own moose. That's what we all need to be. Our own moose. It's be that one that you wish for on that outside. Right? Always. And then let them manifest in the most beautiful ways. Because you never know. You never know. Never give up. I shared about my big sister Barb. You never know. So we don't get hooked. We don't, independent. Well, humans can be flighty too. Because as we're connecting deeper, because we don't know ourselves, we're trying to get to know ourselves. Being a human can be pretty sloppy. Going through those struggles to strengthen those wings, but we're afraid to fly. Whatever that is. Maybe we're afraid to get into that cocoon, so we just keep eating and eating and eating. We're the hungry little caterpillar, so we just keep eating and eating. But we're afraid to go in the dark. We don't want to be closed in, but we kind of need to do that. Right? And to get to all goo, to be able to transform in that butterfly, we have to release it all. Let it all get the ooey gooey. And then work it out, right? In ourselves, not up to anybody else. See counselors, work that out, become whole. Do not put it on in your relationships to anybody else. See a counselor, somebody who's been trained, a professionally trained person. That's what we all need. And then we understand how our brains tick, what this little baby went through, how that baby is giving you signals in your body now, because that baby is still there, right? And the viewpoints and options, making you look at things that maybe you didn't see. Or maybe we're confusing ourselves with it all. So the action is look at that. And then, right? Don't confuse yourself. What are these teaching you? Look at that. 15, 15, double. Double, double, double. Viewpoints and options. When we see that, what are they teaching us? And if we talk to others and see their viewpoint and option. Okay? Or opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. The teacher, what is it teaching us? Do we still look outside ourselves for the answers? Do we still look outside for somebody to complete us? Or are we feeling whole and complete on our own? So look at that. Look at the ways your life. Look at your life. All the different angles. And hey, there's other players in there too. So if there's something that's not working, but it has another player in it, there's another human being. Well then, hey, that's two brains at play there. That takes more communication than two. No assumptions. And always listening, even when we don't want to hear it. Oh, I don't want to hear this part. I only want to hear that you're on the same page as me. I'm not going to listen if there's any. No, because I'm only going to see it this way. This is the way it's going to be. That's it. For manifestation, that's fine when you're trying to manifest a house or anything like that. But when it comes to a free will human being, sometimes you can force that will. Then how do you know if they're choosing it freely? Or because you have sent out all this energy to be there. And they think, oh, maybe I'm thinking of them. But it's because when we think of somebody, we're sending out that energy. And they'll pick it up. Even if you're not intuitive or whatever, we all get that. You ever get that? You think of somebody and the phone rings and they're on the phone? That's how we connect and we all be. We still are. No matter what. So we take comfort in that. We don't want to self-sabotage. Okay? We take a look at our cycles and patterns of ourselves. Every relationship we've been in, well, there's a common denominator, us. That doesn't mean we're responsible for all of that. But if there's things that keep coming up, we need to take our responsibility in that too. Do we have too much expectations for the others? Do we not clearly communicate those expectations? Are we listening? When the other's saying, I'm not there with you, please slow down. That's it, right? Or do we just want to be heard? Do we just keep saying, yeah, but you're not listening to my feelings, but we're not listening to my feelings, but you haven't actually, right? Or you take, somebody tells you these are my feelings and you say, well, now that's like totally different when it hasn't. When we're learning and growing together. Whatever that is, that power connection, the earth connection, that's where that empowerment comes from. Our earth connection, our source connection, not human connection, because we're all humans. We're not the source. The human being is not the source. Not the source of anything inside of you. Another human being is not the source of anything inside of you. Okay? Well, maybe these babies, this programming from those adults, but hey, we're adults now. We're not blaming them because, hey, they were those babies too that didn't get those love. We're breaking these cycles that have been ongoing before any of us that's walking this earth here now was on this earth. But that's where we pick up in our own lives. We can only begin within and see it in ourselves and see the earth connection and connect there first to source. Not to people. That's when we can soar freely. We're not soaring freely if they're like, hey, get back here. Wait, I want you to fly right here beside me. And if you're not beside me, oh my God, I'm just gonna go in circles. So then this one can't be free if they gotta keep coming back here because this one's so insecure without the other one. We do not attach to people. Do not attach to people. We need that when we're little, but it's not attachment that you're can't go anywhere. Right? That baby that has that secure attachment to the family will explore further away. They will go further. Doesn't keep them close. Attachment is not about on my hip. Okay? It's about knowing, being secure, attached to that love. Because you know you can be. It's safe. It's not demanding. It doesn't want to change you. Loves you just as you are. Deals with its own insecurities and jealousies because they know it's not about that person out there. It's about what that baby went through in there. Seeing beyond those deceptions. It's not another human being. Another human being is not the source. Not the source of our self-esteem. Not the source of our personal power. Not the source of our nutrients. Right? Another human being, yes, they talk. See, that's what the other human beings for those actions we see different. Right? We can see beyond deception. Hey, sometimes they help us when somebody tries to tell us who we are. Maybe that's when we know, thank you. You helped me get in touch with who I really am. Because when you're telling me that, then I know exactly who I am not. Even if I'm struggling with trying to figure out who I am. Sometimes we go through that and find out all the things that we're not to find who we are. Clearing out everything we're not to be with who we truly are. And we need to know that first, because how? How's anybody going to love at the fullest, wholest expression of us if we never allow that to show? If we keep feeling like we're unworthy of this love and we keep looking for something, anything that goes, that was like that. I do that too. I don't want to bring in stuff from the past relationships. That's the seed. Openness to the flow. The seed being carried by the wind. That's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to lead my life in any way. I know. Creator, this is what I want, but I'm leaving all the details to you, not to another human being. I don't make decisions based on other human beings, and I'm sorry, my decisions are between me and Source, and I'm following that guidance, always, above all. Hey, and that's the problems that some other people have with me. I'm going to be me. I connect to Source, first and foremost. That tells me what I do, always. That is my ruler. Earth, Source, no man, no woman, no human being. Source. I share with them. Yeah, we can be human beings together, share experiences, see what we've learned together, but see past the deception that, hey, we're not dependent. We lived without you, we'll live before. Okay? We survived a whole lot more and a whole lot worse before you came along or whatever that is. Okay? That's me, and that's my integrity. I went through the worst shit of my life. Had to open my eyes for me to see. I needed that experience. And it's still hard to say I'm grateful for it because, hey, there's little babies still growing. There's actual kids in this situation. But I know I've walked that path, and my children have at least one person who has that integrity, that still follows that, what they were taught, that took it to heart. Children first, not the adults bickering and baby, because you did this. And then they use the children and bring the children all into it. My goodness. Anyways. Or, they act more immature than children. So let's look at these. What are the seeds we planted? We can't force them to grow. We already looked at that, right? Can't force that butterfly to come out any faster. Right? So we're planting the seeds of who we are, letting this baby grow up. Where do we get stunted? If we're reacting somewhere and we feel this emotion come up, that was something that I was told too. How old are we? How old do you feel when this reaction comes up? And then go talk to that little at that age and say, whoa, what is this? You be that adult to assure your little. There's no other adults outside of you. The one responsible for that little is the big one here. Okay? One responsible for that. Okay? Others, allies, and support. Not their responsibility. Our self-esteem, building us up. Our responsibility. You put that outside. You're putting your power outside. Earth connection. Empower. Empower. In power. Okay? Not power over. Ever. And right, then we're reflecting on that transformation. Stand by and support the roots, giving, right? It's that person doing their own. The tree's got to grow its own fruit. The strawberry bush doesn't go to the apple tree and say, you want me to grow your apples for you? You know? Let's look at that. Get down to the common, not the common sense, whatever. You know, let's look at the logical. Oh my goodness, 3 jumped out. High priestess, self-reflection, seeker of the light within each of us, not in somebody else. Transformation, oh my goodness. And integration. Wow, 2, 13, 14. Wow, and then the 3 of arrows. Listen to your heart. In there, in that little heart, the little baby in there too. I don't know. Right? We listen to our hearts, not our minds, not our thoughts of how we want it to be. We listen to our hearts because the hearts will have that. Sometimes, right? Wow. Need to listen to our, maybe we should put those back in there, but look at that. And then we had that transformation. Transformation. Right? We have to let that go. You have to let that sun set to be the dawning. Right? We keep getting hooked on one way and I'm not allowing the changes for the shifts and growing, right? Sometimes we might think it's growing this way and all of a sudden changes angle, goes that way. But it's still growing. That's what we need to see. Listen to your heart, the 3 of arrows. Aligning it with great spirit, source of law. What is in the highest and best interest for me and all? Integrating all those parts of your life and what it has taught you. You're not there anymore. Right? Again, gotta let go. If that caterpillar doesn't go into that cocoon because it's scared of the dark, it's claustrophobic. So that butterfly don't go into the dark. It don't put itself into that cocoon. It cannot go through those transformation then. Right? How's the butterfly going to go through that transformation? And that's where we need to come like that to us humans. As humans, overthink and analyze and do all that. Right? Which is fine. It's part of what we need to do here, right? Maybe, I don't know. Excuse me as I bring these all out here so it can be seen. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. Right? We listen to them, but others too. We can listen to that and go, oh my, the heart wants this, the heart wants that. And is it really? Right? Yes. The experience, that love to feel that. Sometimes we can cling to it too long. We want it to go on longer, so it's not natural. Then we're trying to control it. Then it's not natural. It's not natural for trying to control it. We have everybody going, yes, we're all on this page. And then somebody goes, well, I want to skip over to this page. No, I don't want to be on this page anymore. I'm skipping over to this page. That's it. Let me change this all around. Okay, we need to see that. All human beings. We're all worthy. All worthy. Now, one is more important than the other. We all have our stories, and sometimes we get carried on like we're the only ones. But my baby was traumatized. But my baby went through. Every single human being on this earth has gone through trauma. Nobody is the only one that ever went through this. And to do that becomes then ego. Then we're risking falling into that traps of then becoming and repeating those cycles because, hey, that's what those others abusers do. They're in denial. They don't want to see anything except they see it their way. This is what I want. I want. These are my wants. These are my needs. You're not listening to my wants and needs because you're not telling me exactly what I want to hear. So then you're not hearing me. You're not hearing my wants and needs because you're not giving them to me. Because I'm making it your responsibility. Let's look at that. Transform. Integration. All of it. What is this telling me? What is that little afraid of? What am I putting on somebody else? Making somebody else's job when it's not their job. That is not fair. If I'm putting it on somebody else, how is that person supposed to be looking inside and doing their own stuff? Right? We are not able to do our own work when we're going, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Oh, you need me to do that. Okay, I'm going to keep helping you because I don't want to go inside here. We all have a problem with that. If you have a problem sitting with yourself, why? You can't sit in the quiet? Why? You want to hide yourself out? I've done that too for a little while because that's the only way. As soon as I get out there in that world, I'm being pulled. And I want to be there everywhere. I want to be there everywhere for everybody. I want to love everybody. I want to have sex with everybody. I want to have love. Love, love, love. Show everybody the beautiful beings that they are. And then that can be confusing. It can be. We've talked about that in therapy and stuff too, to be a therapist, watching that. So I need to be secure in myself too, so that I know where I am. I'm home. I'm not looking outside for anybody else, so then I don't confuse. Because to be in a therapist relationship or these intimate relationships, sometimes we can have deep, intimate relationships that have no sex. They're strictly platonic. But some of us are so afraid. We stay on the top, surface, small talk, chit-chat, whatever. But to go deeper and channel that in. Right? Because that little's always there with us, always watching us, whether it's somebody on the outside or whatever. And what examples? We want to change these cycles. So, do we give our children another example to follow? Or do we bitch that these children have now followed the cycles? They're not breaking the cycles of the family, but we never showed them a way to do that. Because we never went and found one for ourselves. This is what we need to do. We're changing the cycles of the world. But it all begins within. And Spirit's there with us through it all. Right? Planting those seeds, being able to take those deep dives, letting things die, letting that sun set so for that new dawn to come up, integrating everything we've learned, because that's like the alligator too. It doesn't make that move until it's taken in and observed, all of it. And that's what I do. And some things happen in the dark. We go talking to everybody about every little thought that comes into our head. That's how I've talked myself out a lot, because it becomes everybody else's opinion. And then if there's jealousy, if they want to hold you back in some way, and then you're dependent on somebody else, well, that's what happened to me too. It's not everybody. And it's not that everybody does these things intentionally either. So we don't know. We don't know how that's going to affect another person too, because we don't know what that other one's thought. We can assume, oh, you're just doing this. You did this on purpose. This is all. We can take it all personal and not go, hey, is this really about me? Or is this person's stuff, right? Whatever that stuff may be. All responsible for our own shit. See, this one, there's bountiful harvest, doesn't come with an empty bowl. He's not coming with an empty bowl. Here's a full bowl, right? And then they leave. We share in that. And again, we need to watch, because it's our feelings and emotions. But if we're having a reaction, somebody else has shared something very beautiful with us. And then we take it and we make that personal and turn it into something. Make it something that's, we need to look at that. Is it just about what we're taking? Again, if we make that relationship about what this person gives me, what I get from this person. No. What can I give you? What can I offer? How can I enhance your life? And you know what? I love you. And I've learned that big one. Deep, 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 deep. Somebody taught me that lesson. I had to experience it for myself to truly understand. You can't make somebody love you. The more you push them, the more you can push them away. And then you need to respect somebody too. Somebody that loves you and they've been there and they've been showing you. It's not just all talk. They've actually been showing, and we just don't want to see it. Or we block it off because we've decided it's this one way. I did that to myself so bad. I'm so So glad I woke up. Creator woke me up. Give me a good shake. Wake up. This was how. It's come around before. So here, are you ready now? That's the will to do. We have to be willing to do it. It's free will. It's not forced will. For me, I came to, again, free will. Free love. Not for sex. Free will. Not forced will. It's coming about it. Things happen. That's where I appreciate the most. I'm allowed to make my own decisions. And we all are. I don't mean it like that. I come to things on myself because I'm very internal. I don't go discussing everything with everybody because I've learned. I've been practicing that because I used to and then anybody can do whatever they want, manipulate however they want, and try and sway you this way. And emotional manipulation has been the biggest one in my life, and I have zero tolerance for emotional manipulation. There's no way. So we all need to see that, and we can all do it. Myself too, because I've seen that in myself. So I say it like that because I get upset with myself too. I don't take advantage of people's emotions. You don't play with people's emotions. And then since the experience that I went through, it does damage. So, okay, no way. I fall to emotional stuff like that. No negotiating. Anyways, there we go. Beautiful. 4121, it said. I need another medicine. So look at that. Okay, the self-esteem. We need to be this baby's ally and support the biggest one. Okay, that little seed, help that baby grow. Right? Sometimes, there's the step. Sometimes all of a sudden, we had thought of something in one way. Boof! Woof! Wow, we didn't see that coming. Hey, but sometimes somebody didn't see that coming. And let's look at our relationships too. Sometimes we get so hooked up in them before we've even, right? Some do. Got all this online stuff too. I'm not into that online dating because it's hard to do. And I've had things where people take it personally if I'm not on the messaging or whatever. Just not. That has never been me. I've never been a phone person. Even the textings, I get into that. But then sometimes I start worrying, well, if I don't text message, so then I'm putting pressure on myself to make sure that's again. My shit. Nobody else's fault. Ain't nobody's fault. Doesn't matter how many times somebody messages me over and over and over again, whatever. I can take that breath and go, well, I can answer this or that. I don't have to put on that extra guilt or whatever that what do they think I'm ignoring them? You know what? Because that's enough. We're all responsible for these inside to regulate our own emotions. We don't put it on somebody else. Nobody makes you anything. Nobody makes you anything. The minute you say somebody makes you, your power's on the outside. That's not empowerment. Okay? We need nourishment, the food from the earth, from the water, the breath. Humans are not the source of our life. Humans are not the source of our power. Okay? Just see that. So many toxic relationships out there. Our songs sing about that. Geez, even in abusive relationships, it's starting to glorify those, right? Love the way you lie and all that. Oh, come on, please. You guys got some great songs. Please stop singing about that. And there is where we need to express that and get that out. But when it becomes like, oh yeah, this is just how it is, then we just fall into that. And then we start around, well, the abuse isn't this bad. So but it's still, abuse is abuse. Okay? We need to recognize that, how we're doing it ourselves. It's about power and control. When we're trying to have power and control, we're trying to control how something goes. Okay? And we only get tunnel vision. This is how I see it. This is how I want it. If it's not going this way, I'm going to get angry. Too many people in my life like that. Here's one I always counter on. Always. He wasn't like that. Never was like that. Never. Always consistent. That's what we need. Find that consistency in yourself. That's what that baby needs, because probably that baby never got that consistent. That love. Don't worry. Even if nobody else loves you, I'm going to love you. I got to that place. That's where we need to be. That self-esteem. I'm whole and full and complete. Because then we're not going to go push it on others. Those are the ways, it's not guaranteed because we're still human. But if we look about that, we take responsibility for our own feelings and our own decisions. Okay? Right? Let's look at that. What is life teaching you? What is all that teaching you about you? Not anybody else. This baby. What does that baby need? You're the adult. You're responsible to get that. Not tell somebody else. And yes, you can say to another adult, this is my needs. It's up to them. It's up to them. There's nothing wrong with them. Maybe they can't do that. Maybe they would want to, but they can't. So let's enough shame and blame. So we don't know somebody else's story. Let's stop coming with these empty cups expecting somebody to fill it up. Let's fill ourselves up. So that we're all, because if everybody's given, nobody's going to be empty. If everybody's taking care of their own self, doing their own self-care, they're not going to blame it from somebody else, right? Because that transformation, some of these things, there's nothing that goes in that cocoon with that butterfly. Things we have to do on our own. Just find ourselves in there. There's nobody that can go inside and find that baby. You can. Integrate all that it's learned. All of it. Okay, love yous. Till Tuesday. Biggest heart hugs ever. Thank you for being you. Shining your light through it, everything you do. Because you know what? This world needs you to be fully, wholly true to yourself first and foremost. Always. Not selfish way above everybody, whatever. As part of this creation. Yes, pay attention to our needs. But we don't go, you're not meeting my needs. You're not meeting my needs. And you're not meeting my needs. Are you meeting your own baby's needs? Nobody else's responsibility. Except for the adult that baby is still in. That's still there. It's his body. It's that baby. It's growing. We need allies and support. Do not give this baby's power to somebody else. Okay? Keep that. Empower. Empower that baby. Give that baby that love. Nobody else's responsibility. Okay? Love you. Ow, 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 ow. I don't know where my thing is. Where's my thingy? Where's my thingy? I don't know. Where's my thingy? Where to put it? My pen that reaches over. Extension. I threw it over here. Okay. Love you all. We all struggle in this relationship, so, you know, I'm going to be listening to this too. Human beings has all gotten distorted, so we need to see past those deceptions that we've all fallen for in some way. And we can only change it in ourselves. Nobody else. Love yous. Thank you.